to play Imhotep. So this is a cube placement board assigning or boat assigning game. This game is actually very, very straightforward with an Egyptian theme. So let's get into quality.
Well, we've got two qualities here. We've got the quality of what comes in the box, and then again, you've touched this one up. So there's some additional 3D
there's some opportunity here for improvement. So in the initial box, you get these cardboard boats.
And cardboard placements for your cubes. It's a good stock cardboard. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and then instead of the buildings, they're just the plain cardboard pieces that they're just
and
there.
The player colors are these big cubes. This is what your colors are, and they're all brown and then shades of black, white, and gray. So there's, the colors are not real bright or anything, but then again,
it makes sense.
This is Egypt. You're
and
expecting
it is stone.
Yeah,
right. So I'm guessing marble. I don't know. So there's definitely the base game. The card quality, if I remember correctly, there is no texture. They're pretty thin. You'll probably need to actually sleeve these. So nothing great on card quality here. So out of the base game, I would probably give it a 6.5. I mean, the cardboard's fine. The cubes are the best thing in the box, and that's
they're oversized. They're not your standard size of cubes,
right? And they're great if you have dexterity issues like closing and grasping. I mean, they're still small, but they're better than the itty bitty cubes. So in that aspect, it might be good for that.
Well, I mean, they also represent the giant slabs that the Egyptian workers had to move up, which is still amazing to this day how they managed to accomplish that.
What's your score on the base game?
I mean, there's not a lot to the game, but as far as the pieces for this game, I'm going to give it probably about a 7. I don't think it's outstanding, but it's pretty good. I like the cubes a lot, even though they are just cubes. But you don't generally see the size of a cube.
You don't see the you don't see the size. They are wooden. They're not plastic.
I mean, they could have taken the easy way out and given you the standard size little wooden cubes. It wouldn't have been nearly as fun.
Yeah, and I think it really fits the theme really well. Now the add-ons. So there are, if you have a 3D printer, obviously you can print some upgrades, and these are the upgrades I printed. So basically you have the pyramid, you have the burial chamber room, you also have, some really cool add-ons. These are the player boards that printed, and then these are the boats that you use. Adds a lot to the theme, we won't, and those upgrades really take this game to the next level as far as capturing your interests and your theme. So
you also decided to change the player colors. Instead of making them the drab colors, you made them vibrant yellow, red, blue, and purple.
Yeah, I kind of had to. So there had to be purple.
But yeah, I mean, it's just that's a personal preference. But yeah, I mean, that's why you've done it. So then now we just have to reinterpret. Okay, if I'm actually blue gray or blue white.
Well,
I'm definitely blue. There's no way doubt if I'm blue. It's just what other color I'm going to
Well, in my head, I've said, all right, purple goes with black, blue goes with white, red goes with brown.
Blue definitely does not go with white. I'm sorry. That's the one option that's not allowed because those are Kentucky colors, and I am not going to be doing Kentucky colors.
If I can manage it, I will. So with the upgraded pieces, I definitely think that takes this game to a higher. What's the score? You got to grade me because this is my work. So obviously, I think it's the best. But
yeah, I mean the colors throw me a little bit, but I know you like them, but it throws me. I do like.
But you can paint them however you want.
I like the pyramid. I like the little rack for storing. Although sometimes things get in the way of your scoring, but I still like them. I mean the pyramid's really cool. The tower is only functional up to a certain height. After that, it gets to be a problem. But even then, you're stacking cubes without any guidance up to a certain height, which could fall down too. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean, this is not my favorite thing you've 3D printed of all the things. So if I'm rating that, I'll give you probably an 8.5 on this one. It's not my favorite, but it's functional.
I think it definitely upgrades the game, though.
It looks nicer on the table, yes.
Yeah. So moving on to theme. The theme is an Egyptian theme. You're building different, a pyramid. You're building a burial chamber. You're building a temple, or you're building an obelisk. Um, you know, does it absolutely entrench you into the Egyptian theme? No, but there is a lot of consistency in this game that I think makes it feel pretty good. So I'm gonna probably give this a 7 on theme. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a heavy theme. First of all, this is a very light game. This is one that could definitely be an introductory
Yes,
game.
this is definitely an
not
intro
difficult
game.
at all. But as far as the theme capturing and working into the gameplay, I don't think it does it at all. It could be any theme layered onto this.
Well, I mean, you are building.
You're building stuff, but it doesn't have to be a pyramid. The pyramid's the closest you get to it actually being thematic. It's at least when you stack them, it makes a pyramid, so you can't argue that. It looks more like an Aztec pyramid because it's got steps going up, but it's a pyramid. But everything else, there's nothing that really ties it to the theme of Egyptian, except for the cards having Egyptian pictures on them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really. Again, it's another one where theme isn't that important. It's all about the different ways of scoring in this. So I would probably say it's more of a 6 for me as far as theme goes. I don't think it's important or heavy in this.
Yeah. Moving on to rules. I had to read the rules recently because it's been a while since we've actually played this game. It was very easy to remember, to find where everything was at and just a refresher course. They're not. Yeah. It's not a difficult read. It's not a difficult game.
The rules are only 6 pages long with cover, so it's actually 5 of. Well, it's even 4 because the back one is actually publisher information. So it's really only 4 pages of rules, and they've got them sectioned nicely. And then after that, it's into variants, or they go through a reference for the different sites, which is really helpful if you have any questions about how the sites work. And then it goes into the variants.
So I would give it an 8. What would you give it?
Yeah, I think an 8's fine on this one. I don't see it. It doesn't have anything outstanding that pushes it to that next level, but it's fine. It works fine, perfectly fine. And on the back, you've got the reference to the cards, which is probably what you would have the most question about. I mean, and the boards themselves actually kind of explain what they do, which is nice. You don't really need a cheat sheet in this game.
No, it's absolutely straightforward. So moving on to gameplay. So the gameplay is actually you have your prep area or whatever. So one of your actions for the game is to pick up 3 cubes to place them on your play area. Okay, so that's basically you went and you mined or you quarried those blocks, and then you decide. So there's certain ships that are decided through these cards. It tells you for each round.
1 card.
Yep, and so then you can decide which to put on the ship. Now, if you fill the ship, or the other action is once the ship is filled or filled enough based on the number of stones up here at the top of the boat, then someone can opt to sail the boat to a port.
So just to be clear, you can only do 1 action on your turn.
Yeah,
you either quarry and take the stone, you place a stone on the boat, or you sail a boat. You don't get to do any combination of them. You can only do 1.
Yeah, and that is literally it. Those are your 3 options. So that's what we're saying. It's a very straightforward game. It's great for introductory players. But I will say there is a little bit of strategy for those more advanced players, because sometimes, guess what? You may want to ship someone else's boat that they've kind of filled and go to a place where they may not necessarily.
You don't have to actually be occupying the boat that you choose to move. Mm-hmm. And then when you move, there's 5 different locations you can move the boat to, some of which are less strategically advantageous during the games. For example, the obelisk is more of an in-game scoring location. If somebody's already running away with that, you can send their cubes to that location. It's not going to gain them anything. So strategically, if you see that person is adding cubes to a boat and you want them out of your way, you can ship that boat down there. Each port can only have 1 boat in it during the round. So you have, the obelisk is a good way of basically, in essence, trashing the people's cubes, even though they're actually going to get points at the end. But if they're already winning that, who cares? You've got the market, which gives you these cards, which give you they give you bonuses during the game of actions or in-game scoring And
with set collection, there's some set collection in there as well. So, and then the pyramid, you get points every time you place a cube, and as you go further along, each spot is worth different sets of points.
Right. So you want to strategically plan it, because you load from the boat in the order or the position that you're on the boat from front to back. So you can strategically plan where your cubes are on the boat, and you can choose to place in any of the cubes. You don't have to load from front to back. But when you dock, you have to go front to back, and therefore you can, on the pyramid, choose, I'm going to move this boat in because I'll get the most points from it.
And then the other thing, so then the burial chamber, it's about how many cubes are touching your same color of cubes, but it has a max of 5. So there's a way, it adds a point if you had like a 6 and a 7, but it's not nearly as advantageous as you want kind of groups of 5 for that. And then the next one is the temple, which is what's visible. So you place the cubes and whatever's on the top row, or that's visible if you're looking at it from up above. Those are the points. So that's another good way. You may want to send a boat. If they already have slots over there, you're just covering their own cubes. That's another place that you can send them to divert, depending on how that's settled off. Overall, again, very straightforward game, a beginner game. The theme is kind of cool, a little bit different. If you want to introduce people into something a little bit different, this is a good game to do it. Am I absolutely in love with it? No. Why did I print bonus pieces? I saw them and I wanted to print them, to be quite honest. So this game is actually a 6 for me. I don't know why I upgraded this game.
Well, to be fair, there's expansions for it we haven't tried yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Push it to a higher level. I like it a little bit better than a 6. I was surprised you gave it a 6 because you tend to get it out more than I do. But
it's easy to teach.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it gets out on the table. It is easy to teach.
I'm going to give this one a 7, probably. It's not something I would choose to get out, but as far as what it is, there's not a lot of, when you look at our entire collection of games, there's not a whole lot of entry-level games that you can get to the table that are going to be engaging and have some of this strategy of planning out. This is one of them that you can get to the table in those scenarios. So for that, I think it's good for that situation.
Yeah, and that's why I upgraded it. Now I'm going to use that as a wonderful excuse as to why I upgraded this game and not so many others.
Well, plus that's going to attract people to the table. Seeing the pieces, it's going to go, what is that? So I think it was a fine for you to print them. I just, of the printouts you've done, this is not my favorite one. But
I do think the ships are kind of cool.
Yeah, the ships are kind of cool. The colors still throw me. But as far as, I think it's a solid 7. I don't think it's great. I think it's a good game, and I'm still eager to try it with the expansions. We've not done that, yet. So it could very well push it up.
It's because we always teach people that.
We
use
it as a teaching game. Therefore, we play the base game for it, and we don't ever learn the expansion.
So, well, I think that pretty much. Did you give it a score? Yes.
So 7.
Yeah.
So
you did.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. No. No, I was. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast tonight, and hopefully you'd like to join us again. If you do, don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell. We'd love to hang out again. Thank you guys.
Call out to Dimitri and Molly. Congratulations on your wedding.
Yeah,
that was awesome. We just got back from that wedding, and it was great.
Yeah,
it's great to see people, and we haven't seen him in forever, so it was great to see him.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Anyway, it's good to get out again. But again, thank you guys so much. Bye.